Playing fast, playing physical, and playing smart.
That's what this defense is built on. You know, smart, fast, physical players.
Welcome back into the Film Room. I'm your host, Eric Turner, and in today's Cover 1 Film Room feature, we're going to break down the ways that the Bills were smart, fast, and physical against the Dolphins, leading to their 31-10 dominant performance in Week 2 of the NFL season. All right, smart, fast, and physical. This is the fourth play of the game. Watch Douglas top of the screen, up near the line of scrimmage. Reads Ingold. As Ingold takes out Rousseau, he immediately comes up and makes that tackle. Very quick reaction to this play. Very great recognition and playing fast. They have a tight end coming out to block him. What's he do? He undercuts the block, avoids that block, and makes a tackle for the 3-yard loss. That 3-yard loss on first down led to this 3rd and 13 interception by Jamarcus Ingram, backup defensive back for the Bills. And what the Dolphins were trying to do on this 3rd and long was attack down the field with a deep dig route by this wide receiver, the outside receiver of the Dolphins. Now, post-snap, the Bills drop out into cover 6. So you have Douglas to the top playing as a cloud corner. He's got the flats. Deep half safety to that field is Damar Hamlin. Now to the bottom of the screen, you have quarter players. So quarter, half players. And then you have 2 underneath defenders in Ingram and Bernard to the bottom of the screen as well. And so they're playing essentially 4 over 3 when you're talking spacing this zone and distributing these routes in coverage. And so you see it's very good anticipation by Tua. You see him release that ball very early, even before that wide receiver breaks. But with Benford playing in that bail technique, with his eyes on the quarterback, he's able to immediately make a break on this ball when it's thrown. And so he's right there at the catch point. Now, the ball hits the receiver, probably had a chance to make the catch. I do think Benford also would make a play on the ball to break it up, but either way, decent anticipation, receiver wasn't ready, and the ball is deflected up into the air, and Ingram brings it in for the interception. Speaking of playing smart, fast, and physical, watch the intelligence and recognition by Casey Toohill as the edge player in the 2-point stance here, and how he strings out this end around orbit reverse to Waddle. And yes, it was a 4-yard gain, but this should have been so much bigger, and there's so much eye candy post-snap on this play. So watch Toohill and how the defense reacts to this play. So on the snap, what the Dolphins are trying to do is get flow going this way, left to right on the screen, making the defense think that they're running some type of gap run with 8-chan right here, coming back to the right side of the defense. But what they actually do is fake that, and they slide the center out into space. They hand it off to Waddle on the orbit reverse, and you see this tight end reverse field and lead back to the open side of the field, the wide side of the field. And look at Toohill. Immediately recognize that block. And what's he do? He gets on his horse to work and retrace over the top of that block to contain the play. And this is important because what the Dolphins were expecting was Toohill to get sucked up inside, and now you're getting a lineman and a tight end out in the open field. You get a block on Lewis right there, and they're going to get the ball outside to Waddle along the sideline to the wide side of the field for a big play. But you see the intelligent play by Toohill. Yes, he takes one for the team. He gets pancaked, but he contained this play. He boxed this play in. Waddle has nowhere to go, and he only gets a 4-yard gain. That is playing smart. That is playing physical. This is the brand of football that the Bills want to play. Bobby Babbitt, Sean McDermott, from the top down. This is the type of intelligence that they want their players to play with. And these are the type of plays that guys like Casey Toohill, Cam Lewis, Balin Spector were making to slow down the Dolphins on Thursday night. Speaking of Balin Spector, watch this run stop on Devin Achane. It's only a 1-yard gain, but look at recognition. You see him calling out the tight end in motion coming across the screen. That tight end goes out wide to kick out Dorian Williams, and Spector immediately fills on this play. So watch as the Dolphins shift that tight end across the formation right at the snap. That bumps guys down, right? That bumps gaps. And so you see Spector immediately bump over, get into the right proper position and in the proper gap. And then he gets downhill immediately. He meets Armstead at the line of scrimmage, plays with the outside shoulder into that blocker, and now he's got the running back in the hole for the tackle. And good thing he makes that tackle, and good thing he wraps and rolls there, because if If he doesn't, there's a pretty good cutback lane right here with everyone getting covered up. Oliver gets chopped down on the backside. Austin Johnson is flowing this way and working over the top here. Cam Lewis is getting ridden right out of the play. This could be a really big run by HM, but instead, Spectre wraps him up for only a 1-yard gain. 2 plays later, with the score knotted up at 7, everyone just does their job, and really, this is an unforced error by Tua. He has a great pocket, but he sails the throw, and it's intercepted by Christian Benford. There's nothing special to this play, and being first down, I don't know why Tua made this throw. It's sort of like a half-field type play, so you have a clearing route by the tight end. Robbie Chosen is the outside receiver to the top. He's just running a curl route just past the sticks. They have an escort screen swing route out here with the running back, and that's really where the ball should go. Instead, Tua sails it over the top of Chosen, and it's intercepted by Benford. The Bills were not doing anything special on this play. They're just playing cover 3. Post safety, deep third player, and then you got 4 underneath. There was no need for Tua to make this throw to the wide receiver out here near the numbers. All he had to do is swing it out to the flats, and they have leverage with a blocker out in front on Cam Lewis. Instead, again, from a deep pocket with very little pressure, Tua sailed the throw, and it was intercepted by Christian Benford, a player that had a tremendous game in coverage against the Dolphins. I believe all night the Bills controlled the line of scrimmage. They played fast. They played physical. Here's 3rd and 1 with 4:27 left in the first half, and the Dolphins once again try to run that fullback dive right up the middle. But look at the penetration by the Bills, specifically Ed Oliver, and then these linebackers coming downhill and playing on the Dolphins' side of the line of scrimmage to hold them to force 4th down and 2. Here it is from the end zone angle. So watch Oliver's jump on the snap, his burst and explosiveness, immediately splitting the offensive lineman. So he's pressuring Ingold, the fullback, from the weak side. And then watch Dorian Williams key in on this and trigger and fire his gun downhill to make the stuff. And you can see Ingold, he gets stuck in mud as soon as Williams makes contact there. You have Spectre grabbing the leg, and the Bills are able to hold the 3rd and short attempt by the Dolphins. Now that 3rd and 1 stop by Dorian Williams and the Bills defense leads to this 4th and 2 play. It's a sack by Ed Oliver, and keep in mind, the score was 17-7 right now. The Dolphins were already in Bills territory near midfield, and this play was really big by the Bills. And I want to credit the sack to Ed Oliver and that individual performance, but the pre-snap, the post-snap picture changed just a little bit, and it kind of caused Tua to kind of hesitate. So right now the Bills are showing 2-man. You got 2 safeties deep, and it looks like they're in man coverage. But post-snap, that picture changes. So rather than 2-man here, post-snap, what they do is they just drop out in the cover 3. And that means that Hamlin is coming down into the hook to curl area as that defender underneath. You got 3 deep players right there. You have 2 flats players, Ingram and Cam Lewis, and here's your other hook to curl defender and Spectre. Just simple cover 3. But because of the rotation by Hamlin and the route combination by the Dolphins that has Hill running an in-breaking route up high and then Waddle stemming outside and coming over the middle, this right here initially takes away Hill. And so if Tua was looking to Hill immediately because he thought he had leverage on the corner, Hamlin's helped take that away. Now, if Tua wants to throw it short, Hamlin can work high to low as well and make the tackle on Waddle. Will he pick up the first down? Yeah, likely, because Hamlin is coming from depth. But either way, that high to low play by Hamlin and the Bills defense kind of disguising it pre to post snap really caused Tua to second guess and not get rid of the ball. And you can kind of see Waddle slip out of that break right there. So that kind of threw the timing off as well. But once again, it takes away the Dolphins' 2 best players because of the coverage, the disguise, Waddle slipping a little bit, and that allows Ed Oliver to get home. So you get good disguise from pre to post snap, and they change that picture, but you also get that individual performance and pass rush by Ed Oliver. And we can look at that from the end zone angle. Oliver's trying to get Carter lined up properly. He's not even in the right spot, but it doesn't matter. Oliver and Rousseau still get their one-on-one looks as pass rushers, and you can see the speed to power move by Ed Oliver, and he uses that inside hand to lift up and get under the pads of that guard. And assuming that Tua is setting up in the pocket and maybe stepping up into the pocket because of this pressure out wide, you see Ed Oliver flatten to the quarterback and make the tackle on Tua. Great scheme all around, but also a great individual effort by Ed Oliver to win his one-on-one to bring down the quarterback. We are in the second quarter, 11:03 on the clock, a 1st and 10 play here, and it's a 4-yard gain by Achane, but this is a great job of the Bills of controlling the line of scrimmage, beating their blocks, and staying in the play, playing smart. Watch Rousseau, watch Oliver, watch Austin Johnson on this play and how they play into the blockers, disengage, run their feet to string this speedy running back out. And as soon as Achane realizes, oh, there's no way I'm getting to this edge because Rousseau contains him, watch the pursuit by the Bills, especially Austin Johnson. Again, a no-name type defensive tackle that being signed this offseason, looking to make the play on Achane to limit, again, one of the most explosive running backs on the planet. Very good job at the line of scrimmage, controlling blocks, disengaging, and minimizing this run. On the very next play, 2nd and 6, Dorian strings this play out, disengages from the block by Hill, and makes a tackle on the running back. A great individual effort, and generally, the Bills don't set their 3 technique to the weak side of the formation. You see they have multiple tight ends on the field. They even have their fullback as well. And generally, the Bills would set Ed Oliver, the 3 technique, right here. But they have it flipped, and that kind of exposes linebackers like Dorian Williams. But look at him come downhill and meet the tight end with physicality and play through him. Look at the pads of Hill. As soon as the hands by Dorian make contact, you see his pads pop up, and he almost becomes vertical there and immediately disengages from that block, gets outside leverage, and contains that play, makes the tackle on the running back. Great work by Dorian Williams, and kudos to other guys like Casey Tuhill. Look at him take on this tight end, use his eyes, get his eyes on the ball, and then run, once again, down the line of scrimmage. Everyone was pursuing to the ball. Everyone was getting downhill into their gaps, pursuing the ball, doing their job, and just making the Dolphins string plays out and exhaust all their options out. And before they knew it, the options were gone. They didn't exist anymore, and guys like Dorian Williams stepped up to make the play. Those prior 2 plays were important because it led to this 3rd and 5. And this coverage and pass rush that leads to this pick 6, it really shows how well the Bills know the Dolphins. So I have Tyreek Hill circled to the top of the screen, Waddle to the bottom, and the Bills are showing a 2-high structure. And post-snap, they're not doing anything special. They're literally just playing cover 3 with a slight overload along the defensive line. And that pressure obviously gets to Tua. Tua throws it up, and Ingram returns it for the pick 6. But as I said, this is simply cover 3. But the little details in this cover 3 look are really what make it. So right there, you see Cam Lewis pop out, and he lines up over Jalen Waddle. Again, this is zone coverage. This is cover 3. He's just a flats defender there, but putting him over Waddle takes away any type of quick look that Tua wants to throw to Waddle, because hey, here's a quick game takeaway, and then you got help over the top. But again, this is just cover 3, guys. He's a deep 3rd defender. Hamlin's dropping down as a hook to curl defender. So now let's rewind. Hill, top of the screen. It's a trip set. Bills once again dropping out into cover 3. Watch Spector, instead of just getting to his hook to curl area, look at him slowly hold in that first window if Tua was looking to throw to Hill quickly. He's not. Obviously, he's looking to the bottom of the screen. By the time he gets to Hill, now you see Spector splitting the difference between these 2 receivers. You obviously have Hamlin as the other hook to curl defender, but they're completely aware of Waddle to the bottom and Hill in the slot to the top. Once again, simple cover 3, as I said. 4 defenders underneath, 3 deep. Take away those early looks, take away the deeper shots down the field, and allow your pressure to get home. They rush 4. Epinesa gets into the face of Tua. Tua's trying to throw it away, but he throws it right into the hands of Jamarcus Ingram. So let's look at this 4-man rush and game that the Bills use to create that pressure and to create that turnover. Bills are kind of overloading the left side of the Dolphins offensive line. They have Von Miller out wide by himself, kind of isolated. And on the snap, what's going to happen is Epinesa is going to get bumped out wide just a bit right off the snap. And so Rousseau takes an inside line. It appears like Epinesa plays off of him. This doesn't look planned, But you'll see Epinesa loop outside as Rousseau takes that inside line. You see a spike hard inside by Von Miller. Ed Oliver plays into the man and then loops outside. And so when Tua is trying to kind of get out the back of the pocket here, he has nowhere to go to either side. And so he tries to throw it out of bounds and throw it away, but he doesn't have enough arm strength, and that lands in the hands of Ingram. So this is just another example of complementary football. Pass coverage working with a pass rush to create the interception and to, in the end, create 6 points for the Buffalo Bills. You want smart, fast, and physical? How about this tackle for loss by Ed Oliver as the Dolphins were driving with 5:16 left in the third quarter? It's a big stop by Ed Oliver, but it's also a great play by Daquan Jones. Both defensive tackles kind of working together on this play. So let's look at Jones and how he plays up the field and kind of boxes this run in. You see him quickly get into the center and control the center, stack him, and that kind of boxes this run in. So HN has to get north and south here. Ed Oliver did a great job of getting off the ball, recognizing the block that's coming at him, and getting up under the offensive lineman, ripping through, winning that leverage, and then going to make the tackle. This play was huge. Again, this was 3rd and 3. It was a 1-yard loss on the tackle by Oliver, but it led to 4th and 4. If the Dolphins were able to get a couple more yards on this play for 4th down, maybe Tua doesn't scramble, try to make such a big play and tone-setting play for his offense, and maybe he doesn't get hurt. But this tackle for loss, in my opinion, really caused Tua to want to scramble to pick up the 1st down, which he did, but he ended up injured on that play. And I just don't think he is as aggressive if they are able to get a few more yards on this play or even pick up the 1st down. Here's a 1st and goal play by Daquan Jones and AJ Epinesa. You see Cam Lewis get up in the thick of it. Just once again, Jones controlling the center and the line of scrimmage. Epinesa showing that violence and tenacity. Watch his play. It's similar to the last one. Jones up the field, into the center, controlling him, throwing him aside, disengaging, and making the tackle. But look at Epinesa. Look at the violent hands that he plays with against the tight end here. Stacks him initially, and then watch him chop down that hand, take away all that power and leverage, and then sweep the legs to make the tackle. Great team defense by the Bills. They showed this all day. Everybody was rallying to the ball on these plays, especially in the low red zone, with the Bills up big in Miami. To the sack by Von Miller, it's 4th and 8. He shuts this play down, and I will say Von is back. Snap timing, first step quickness, ability to turn the corner, but also bend and flatten to the quarterback. It was there on this play, and we'll break it down from the end zone angle. But let's talk about the poise and spacing in this cover 2 coverage by the Bills. So to the top of the screen, you're going to see the routes unfold. Essentially, you're going to have 2 in-breaking routes right here, and then Hill is going to be an out-breaking route to the top. But there's 3 eligibles to the top of the screen, and you have 4 defenders playing those 3. And just watch how they space it to the top of the screen. As one's coming inside, Spector's there. Obviously, with Hill going over the top, you have the safety attaching to that, but you'll also have this defender being able to drop back and help with Hill and undercut that. As this guy pivots back inside, well, guess what? You have someone there too. Everybody is covered. They have 4 defenders to cover 3 to the top. Now let's look to the bottom. 2 eligibles. One of those is Waddle. You have 3 over 2. Look at that spacing. Okay, if Waddle wants to go inside, you have Cam Lewis. If he wants to break outside, you have Hamlin. You also have Douglas playing into the running back who's kind of running up the sideline near the goal line. That coverage was perfect. That distribution of coverage and defenders matched so well with the routes that the Dolphins were running on this play. It's another example of pass coverage and pass rush working in unison, complementing each other, and that allowed Von to get home for the sack. Now let's look at that quickness and explosiveness from Von off the snap. You can see him slightly leaning as that ball is snapped, and as the Dolphins are kind of timing the motion by the running back, he reads it perfectly, and he uses a little touch and go move. As soon as that tackle looks to shoot his hands or put his hands up, Von just touches and goes. And you see him turn that corner, and because of that explosiveness, that first step burst off the line of scrimmage, he easily gets upfield and around the corner of Austin Jackson for the sack. He's back. I thought the Bills did a great job in this game of just playing their brand of football, smart, fast, and physical. There were no magic potions. There were no special plays or concepts. They played fundamental football. They showed a level of composure and poise that we hadn't really seen from them in the last few years. It was definitely a detailed unit led by Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott. It was exciting to see this iteration of the Bills defense play against the high-flying Dolphins offense. If you like that breakdown, please smash that like button. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know who else and what else you want us to break down from this Bills-Dolphins matchup. I am Eric Turner, owner of Cover One, host of the Film Room every Wednesday. Until our next breakdown, go Bills.